before I start my presentation, I'm going to ask you all to think about this question I'm going to ask. What's true happiness to you? And I want you, each and every one of you, to keep in mind that there are no right or wrong answers. But I think happiness is what everybody covets, and it's what everybody chases all throughout their lives. And I think happiness is that question you ask on your deathbed. If you ask me, I would say I have led a fulfilled life if I go to my deathbed with no regrets. That's true happiness for me. A life without regrets. Now, you should all know that even though I'm being a bit morbid because I'm discussing death at this moment, you should all know that it's true, that nothing lasts forever. We're all going to die. But you can live the life you want. The action you make today will affect what will happen tomorrow. I don't want you guys to be neurotic and go around saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, maybe I screwed up my whole life. But it's true. You have the power to change it all. I'm going to tell you about quite an interesting lady. Her name is Porny Well. She's an Australian nurse. She's a nurse that basically gives pain treatment to people that are in the last 12 days or 12 weeks, in the last days of their lives. Now this woman lived so long around these people that she realized that at the very end of their lives, there is some sort of clarity that comes upon people. There is a moment of clarity, and they realize there are so many things that they could have done better. Now this woman started a blog about her experiences with these people, Inspiration in Chai, and it was so popular that she turned it into a book, Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And then when she was actually asking them, what are your regrets? There was a trend that was emerging. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Now, how many of us, myself included, have done so many things in their life, or not done, or passed off the opportunity to do something great with their lives, but stopped because somebody else expected something? How many of you have dished Toastmasters just because your family expected you to be at a family gathering? How many of you failed to point out to your boss that he or she was doing something wrong because you thought his expectation or her expectation is for you to be the subordinate and not achieve more? There are so many mistakes we make in our lives, and this is one of it. Being true to ourselves. And this is a real regret of a series of dying people which had the same theme. They regretted not being true to themselves. Their second regret was, I wish I had not worked so hard. Now, we have been trained to work diligently at school, get good grades, work diligently in college, get even better grades, get your master's, get a better job, work hard, work overtime, get more money. Do you really, really think that would make you happy? It definitely did not make these people happy, because mostly men, because it was an age group where men were breadwinners in the 50s and 60s, and women had spent more time with the kids. So the statistics was mostly men regretting that they wish they hadn't worked so hard, because they missed the good times with their family. They missed their children growing up. They missed the companionships of their wives because they worked so hard. I'm not saying ditch everything and hang out all day with your friends, but chill. You don't have to go in on a Sunday morning. The next is, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Which one of you don't hold hands with your boyfriend or girlfriend because society deems it inappropriate to show that much affection in public? How many of you swallow back a retort when somebody is yelling at you because you're afraid? How many of you are afraid to say no when you don't want to do something? That's one thing you can regret. And funny enough, of these people that this nurse took care of, most of them that had this regret had diseases related to holding it back. You have high blood pressure because when somebody's yelling at you, you didn't yell back. You have heart attacks because you're angry, but you don't express it. There are so many diseases associated with not expressing your feelings. And having that courage to express your feelings leads to a more fulfilled life, especially for those of us that do have that problem of being afraid of offending. The fourth one is, I wish I stayed in touch with my friends. And I think we are mostly young enough to still be in touch with our high school friends. But you can see from older people that because they were too busy, because life happens and they get overwhelmed and they just cut out the things they think are unimportant and they let golden friendships pass. They let distances grow. And honestly speaking, friends are the family we choose for ourselves. We're stuck with our family, but we can choose our friends. Last but not least, I wish I had let myself be happier. There are so many things that could make us happy, but we don't do them because they're wrong, they're not part of the plan, it's unexpected, whatever your reason may be. You don't let yourself be happier, you don't laugh more. What's the point? Now, I want you to ask yourself another question. What's your biggest regret so far? Because regret, it's poison that eats into our soul and leaves us shells of who we could become. So I want you to go home and think about it. What is it that you wish you could do? What is it you wish you could have done? And I want you to know, every passing minute is a chance to turn it all around. So, my friends, I say to you, seize the day. Carpe diem.